Good Friday, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith on this cloudy Friday, the 19th of December 2014. Waking up and getting out the door this morning with mostly cloudy skies. The skies are cloudy as a result of a temperature inversion, which continues in the atmosphere today. And so therefore most of the cloud cover will still be of a low to medium variety canopy across the area. Temperatures this morning are ranging anywhere from the low to the mid 50s across the Hudson River Valley, with the winds making it feel like it's in the upper teens to low and mid 20s this morning. Right around the New York City, Long Island area, we have cloudy skies. Temperatures are in the mid 30s, and the wind chills making it feel like freezing or so in some locations, with the northwest winds continuing. In and around Central Park, it's cloudy and 37. At the airports, it's also cloudy and 37 and 38 at Newark, Kennedy, and LaGuardia as well. The northwest winds continue a little gusty with the wind chills this morning as well. In New Jersey, cloudy skies just about everywhere. Temperatures ranging in the middle 30s predominantly, with northwesterly winds continuing. Morning pass of the visible satellite this morning shows plenty of those low clouds across the region. Water vapor channel imagery also showing the moisture stuck under the inversion this morning. We don't really have any precipitation in the region, as high pressure is basically in control, and here is a storm system across Texas and Louisiana this morning, producing showers and heavier bouts of rain that will be sliding off to our east and south over the next couple of days, with a dry forecast for this weekend in place. And we have no airport delays across the region this morning, and no watches, warnings, or advisories on the marine deck as well. Basically, sub-small craft advisories, a little gusty out there during this afternoon and evening, but no small craft advisories in effect. We could get them back by later Monday and Tuesday, as we have an onshore flow and building seas as the storm system approaches. All is relatively quiet and tranquil on the aviational deck. We do have a few areas this morning in MVFR conditions with ceilings below 3,000 feet. Everybody else is in the VFR range this morning. We're continuing with the VFR for the area for today and tonight. Persistent clouds between 3,000 and 5,000 feet above ground level for much of the day, and that will persist through the evening hours. Northwest winds will gust to about 20 knots at times through early this afternoon, but they should stay generally less than 10 knots through the period. Saturday and Sunday VFR north to northeast winds expected, and ceilings should begin to lower throughout the day on Sunday as well. Monday and Tuesday, sub-VFR expected, with scattered rain and snow showers becoming all rain by Tuesday. Right now, outside of Newark, it's 37, dew point 23, humidity 56%. The wind is northwest of 7, gusting to 23, making the wind chill feel like 27. Overcast conditions at 3,500 feet. Few gusts this afternoon, and scattered cloud cover as well under that temperature inversion VFR in place. Philadelphia this morning, international 37, dew point 25, humidity 61%. The wind is west, southwest actually, or northwest actually, at about, or just due west at about 10 knots, and overcast conditions 3,400 feet, wind chill about 30, and basically a little gusty out there this morning, and then scattered to broken cloud cover across the region with VFR conditions in place. This morning we'll use the NAM 4-kilometer surface reflectivity from Tropical Tibet site, as the Penn State seawall site has some issues this morning. Basically, a dry forecast going into the future, high pressure in control, low level temperature inversion, subsidence inversion keeping the clouds in, winds turn more to the north and northeast and then become onshore. System across Texas moves off the mid-Atlantic coast states and begins to minor out, so a dry forecast for this weekend, and a relatively benign one too. Changes are afoot for next week. We will use the 6E NAM model guidance from NextLab, the Next Generation Weather Lab from the College of DuPage. Pretty benign weather, but the winds and onshore flow will continue to develop over the weekend, and that system across the south will begin to approach, with another low pressure system approaching the region off the Carolina coast as we head into Monday afternoon, with the onshore flow increasing, and then the chances for rain really start beginning to increase during Monday night, and especially during the day on Tuesday. GFS maps into motion. High pressure is in control of the forecast region despite the cloud cover in place and near seasonable temperatures. And by the time we head in towards the weekend, especially later Sunday night and Monday, the high pressure ridge will be departing off the northeast, so the onshore flow will continue, and an area of low pressure will exit off the Carolina coast and provide us with a little bit of precipitation in here. This would be in the form of rain showers, particularly late Monday night, early Tuesday morning. The big concern here is the lifting parallel to the ridges here and parallel to the upper flow as well, as a large storm system begins to occlude over the Great Lakes and deepens rapidly. Moisture transport will be coming in from off the ocean and will be parallel to the flow. Strong south to southwest winds ahead of this low. And an area of low pressure as well, probably becoming the primary aspect here across the northern mid-Atlantic region, could provide 1 to 2 inches of rain across the region, especially during the day on Wednesday and Wednesday night. And that system begins to occlude and moves up into Atlantic Canada. The precipitation shield should exit, and Christmas Day itself should be breezy but near seasonable temperatures. And then another cold front will approach with an area of low pressure across the Great Lakes by Saturday afternoon. That will be preceded again by some more showers, and then cold and blustery conditions return for the later part of next weekend. It's a very strong signal now showing up from the model guidance. Yesterday's 500 millibar model guidance in the morning and also in the evening's run really begins to hone in on the changes that are really occurring in the atmosphere. A very active subtropical jet stream. And here is our positive PNA beginning to show up under the Alaskan Ridge here, which is now beginning to build across the northern continent here into the Arctic Circle. We have a west-based NAO developing across the Greenland area, and the heights will begin now. The path of the cold air will begin to follow the in suit now for the next ending of this month into the beginning part of January. And the cold Arctic air that was locked up in Canada with a west to east flow will now become north to south, and that will make for an interesting forecast going ahead, as first it bleeds the cold air and storm systems into the central plains, and a very active subtropical jet stream means that storm systems one after another could start getting going here late in this month, towards the end of the month, and obviously the beginning of January. So we're starting to develop the pattern here in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and everything is beginning to come into place. It's just a matter of time. Taking a look at our water vapor channel and live North American view here, this is our river, our atmospheric river of air and water. Things that are going to change here, definitely not the subtropical jet stream. This continues to be very active with a west-based El Nino developing across the entire Pacific down to the date line. We have our upper level low here, our North Atlantic oscillation beginning to go negative. That continues to show up in the actual observational data. And the cold Arctic air, which is locked in place here in Canada, is the result of a trough, which is currently south of the Aleutian Islands. Once this trough gets out of here with a storm system that helps it do so, we replace that with a ridge, and the ridge means that the trough axis now becomes more tilted and more neutral in the central part of the country with a very active subtropical jet stream, and then the cold Arctic and polar air will begin to spill down over the next 2 weeks or so, and that should make for some very interesting forecast as we go ahead into the future. So it does look like an active and stormy pattern going into next week. Most of that will be rain and wind, and then followed by colder air, but near seasonable temperatures, and probably by the end of this month and the early part of January, we really start getting rocking and rolling here in our winter weather forecast. For everything live, it's Garden State Weather and gardenstateweather.blogspot.com. Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. You make it a great Friday. We'll be back in video form on Monday morning.